I'd much rather get it going as opposed to waiting.
We'll call the meeting to order. Would you please stand? I've asked Mr. Phelan to do our prayer and Ms. Sullivan to do our pledges.
Pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for each and every person that's gathered here. We ask that you help us in making the best decisions for this district. We ask that you look out for us, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Would you please join me in the pledge to the American flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
At least you was on the right track.
That's right.
Way off.
Is there anybody?
It wasn't me.
Yes.
I'll call to order the meeting of Pasadena Independent School District Board of Trustees in regular session on Tuesday, August 24th, 2021, in the boardroom of the Administration Building, 1515 Cherry Brook, Pasadena, Texas, at 5:30 p.m. Board members present. Ms. Vicki Morgan will be here in just a minute. Mr. Kenny Fernandez, Ms. Nelda Sullivan, Ms. Crystal Davila, Ms. Paola Fusilier, Mr. Casey Phelan, and myself, Marshall Kendrick. I guess I have to count her none, but she'll be here.
She's walking in. She is.
Huh?
She's walking in.
I thought she's here, so we have all here. You made it.
Chasing a dog.
Oh, no.
I know the feeling.
Where's your dog to?
I know the feeling.
Oh, my gosh.
Let the record indicate that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting is duly called, and that notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. We've already done that, hadn't we? Well, welcome. We're going to adjourn to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.074 for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee concerning matters related to the superintendent's recommendations to hire administrative personnel and or the superintendent's recommendations related to renewals, non-renewals, and termination of contracts for professional personnel. 551.071 to consult with the district attorneys concerning matters on which the attorney's duty to the district under the Code of Professional Responsibility clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meeting Act. To seek the advice of its attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer and or to consider legal advice regarding items specifically listed on the agenda. 551.072 for the purpose of discussing purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. We will reopen session at 7 p.m. We're going to reconvene in open session. First item is a discussion of the budget and proposed tax rate for 2021 and 22. Ms. Carla Merker.
Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Carl, board members.
No mic.
We can't hear you.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Thank you very much. This is our annual notice for public hearing on the tax rate. So this gives the opportunity for anyone that would like to speak on our tax rate, if they have the opportunity to do so, or on our budget. I'll give some overviews for everyone. Last year, our M&O tax rate was $1.0730. This year, our M&O tax rate is going to be $1.0712, which is lower than what it was last year. So the taxpayers will see a savings on their tax bill. The INS side will still remain the .31. And so at this time, we'll open it up to anyone that would like to speak regarding our tax rate. We don't have any. We will approve the tax rate later in the financial section and the budget as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the work, Carla, you and your minions. We appreciate it.
For sure. Now we have no special recognition since we just started school. We have public comments according to policy BED. There are none tonight. Next item is consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Is that you, Paola?
No,
No, okay. Motion by Ms. Morgan and second by Ms. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Personnel section, consideration possible approval of administrative personnel.
Mr. President, I move that we approve addenda pages A through E.
Second.
Second by Mr. Fernandez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay, do your thing.
Okay. We have just named Ms. Dana Miller for the position of BCBA Behavior Analyst for the remainder of this school year, but she is not here with us this evening, so when you see her, congratulate her in her new position. Next, we have Mr. Seth Howard Johnson, and Coach Johnson is going to be the position of BCBA Behavior Analyst. And Coach, where are you?
There he is.
Congratulations. Do you have family with you?
I have my wonderful wife here, Kara Lawrence Johnson. Been great support for me.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have another one who will not be here this evening. This is Bianca Dragan, and Bianca will be instructional specialist with special ed elementary. And she is new to the district, so be sure and welcome her when you see her and congratulate her in her new position. Next, we have Lauren Hooks. Lauren, are you here? Hello, Lauren. Lauren, first of all, welcome to PISD. We are all your family now. Lauren has been approved for the position of instructional special education specialist, secondary. And so we congratulate you in that position. Do you have family with you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do. I have Cameron Hook. My little, he will be a Pasadena scholar.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
And I have my lovely mother, Martha.
And next and last, we have Jody Hernandez. Jody, that's you. Congratulations. Jody is going to be our special education specialist for the remainder of this school year. Congratulations. Did you bring family with you?
I actually have two members of my district family here, Miss Still and Miss Salazar.
Awesome. Congratulations. And Mr. President, that concludes the pages.
Thank you. Congratulations to everybody.
They want to leave.
Yes, anybody that wants to leave now because you came here for these announcements, you're certainly welcome to. Thank you, Mother.
Sorry, son.
I had a son.
Oh, you had a red bowl.
This year.
She's making it big now.
You gotta do something. Thank you all. Next item is consideration of possible approval of ESSER 3 tutoring pay rates.
So moved.
Second.
Put by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions?
Board members, as you know, we're going to be doing some high-impact tutoring to help students who perhaps lost some ground last year. So we feel like this rate will encourage not only our teachers, but others who will participate in this, perhaps retirees and others that will come back and help kids in a big way.
Thank you very much. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Educational section. Consider a possible approval of the interlocal agreement with Region 4 Education Service Center, ESC4, for the renewal purchase of own data suite software at a cost of $27,837.70.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Second item has been pulled. Item 3, consideration of possible approval of appointment of the District of Innovation Committee.
Move that we approve the District of Innovation Committee selections.
Second.
Who was that? Me. Paola? Thank you. Any comments or questions?
I just want to thank Dr. Darla Massey-Jones, who will do a fine job on this as always. This is a renewal of our District of Innovation, so she'll be working with this committee to get it just like it will best serve the district.
Good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Can we vote on this?
No.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration of possible approval of memorandum of understanding MOU with Fort Bend ISD for reading academies for the 2021-2022 school year at a cost of $42,000.
So moved.
Second.
Morgan? Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
And Ms. Sullivan seconded it. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. For information only, summer school 2021 report. Ms. Becky Benner.
Good evening. Good evening, board members and superintendent. How are you this evening?
Very good.
Thank you for your strong commitment to extended year services for our students. This year, 7,766 students participated in summer programs. Many of those would not have earned promotion to the next grade without the opportunity to participate. Okay, so the elementary program, let me find the mouse. There we go. All right, in the elementary level, we had programs that included remediation for 3,532 students. 2,930 students attended summer school to prevent retention. Of these, 2,432, or 83%, were able to advance to the next grade. It's good news.
Right.
The bilingual pre-K program served 371 bilingual ESL preschoolers and kindergartners who received support for English language development. Additionally, 231 students benefited from the enrichment opportunities of the GT camp. He did some kind of magic or something. Thanks, Eric. These programs were supervised by Dr. Scott Harrell and his team. In middle school, let's do that one. Middle school, programs served 800 fifth and sixth grade students. 616 of those students attended school to prevent retention. Of these, 590 were promoted. That's 96%.
Wow.
Awesome.
In addition, 183 middle school students participated in the Pasadena Advanced Classes, ESL Newcomer Camp, and GT camps. Middle school programs were supervised by Dr. Marcia Jones. At the intermediate level, we had 656 students served. 637 of those, the majority of those, attended summer school to prevent retention as well, and 620 promoted. That's 97%.
Wow.
19 other students attended GT camp from the intermediate level, and Mr. Dan Hoppy supervised this level. The CTE programs, again, this summer came through, offered camps for students who had completed grades 3 through 8. These students are exposed to various career pathway opportunities that we offer in the district. It's sort of an information and experience for them. This year we held one camp, career camp, 4 robotics camps, and 1 rocketry camp. Over 250 students attended one or more of these camps, and they were supervised by Ms. Tanya Hager and her team. And I didn't show you the slide. There you go. All right, in high school, we had programs that included initial credit courses, both traditional and virtual, to help students stay on their graduation paths while participating in extracurricular and CTE programs of study during their regular school year. Students also who fell behind last year were able to recover credits toward getting back on track to graduate with their cohorts. 2,467 students participated in the high school summer school program and together completed 4,499 courses, half-credit courses. Students earned 2,215 half credits of initial instruction and 1,450 of credit recovery instruction. So we had more initial credit than we had credit recovery for the first time. 1,924 half credits were recovered by students who failed courses during the regular school year. As a result, 183 seniors earned their high school diploma earlier this month. You guys were there and got to see those kids graduate and go on, hopefully, to San Jac on that full scholarship. High school programs were ultimately my responsibility, but in large, program managers, Mr. John Thompson and Ms. Erica Nations, along with their leadership teams, handled the in-person programs, and it was a good time to get kids back to school. A lot of them hadn't been in school. And Ms. Lucy Weaver and her team managed the Pasadena virtual school courses and kids. After that, we have a slide for extended year services. Extended school year services, or ESYS, are special education services provided to students to combat regression and/or recoupment of skills during the summer. ESYS is provided for students in accordance with their IEPs and at no cost to the students' families. Many students who attend ESYS are in our specialized, self-contained programs during the regular school year. This summer, we served 80 students with significant disabilities in sessions 1 and 2. Dr. Bobby McCain supervised ESYS. This concludes our report. Again, thank you for supporting our extended year programming. It's our pleasure to bring good news about student success this summer. Any questions?
Thank you. Great job. Appreciate it.
Okay, awesome. We'll see you again next year.
Thank you, Deb.
Eric, where'd you go?
Becky, thank you.
Turn that off?
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you very much. Consideration and possible approval of the 2021-2022 Texas Education Agency Service to Students with Autism Continuation Grant in the amount of $995,220.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I have one question. What is the current staff to student classroom size, and does it vary according to different grade levels? Because right here it says that part of the funds is going to be used to develop lower staff to student ratio. So I just want to see what the numbers are and how we're going to improve that.
Debbie, you want to come up?
I think you're going to need to repeat the question.
Yeah.
Take your mask off so we can hear you.
Hi, I just wanted to ask about the student staff to student ratio, because it said we were going to improve the classroom sizes with these funds, and I wanted to know whether it differs according to grade level.
It's only, the whole program is only for pre-K through 4th grade. So it's an early intervention grant, and it does differ by grade level. So the younger they are, the more adults we generally have in the room. And so we have BCBAs, which is one of the reasons for hiring more of them tonight. We have BCBAs in the classroom. We have teachers in the classroom. We have paras in the classroom, and they're all trained, highly trained by some of the university programs that we've hired and contracted with. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
I actually got a chance to ask you that yesterday, Debbie, so it's me over here. So I appreciate you repeating that information today. I did ask about the individualized parent training, and I was curious, when that's provided and how often, and then what exactly, if you could repeat a little bit of that.
Okay.
And then also if there would be, for example, a virtual option for parents to, like Zoom in to that kind of training.
Yes. So we provide parent training every year. So as part of the autism supplement, we are required to do some parent training. And so we do parent training sometimes on a Saturday. We invite community members to come and speak with the parents, and we invite some speech therapists that work with the parents to give them tips at home. And we have provided those about once a month. They're provided. So as part of the grant, we are doing that in a bigger fashion. And but when COVID hit, and which is right when the grant started last year, that was difficult to do. So we did some more personalized parent training through that time. But we will be doing some more training with parents as part of the grant that we're required to do, and we will do some virtually.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate this grant. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of the 2021-22 budget, bridge up at Manager, all means all Seahawks COR grant award in the amount of $90,000.
So
That's a
moved.
mouthful.
Second, yeah.
You saw in a second?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion?
Oh, the mental health therapist is going to ask a question.
Lower your mask, would you?
Yes, absolutely. The mental health therapist is going to ask a question about mental health. So, Gloria, Ms. Gallegos, what kind of support is being offered through this grant for the students at Bobby Shaw? What does that look like?
So we actually have, the Menninger serves, the most at need students at level 3 tier intervention. And so they provide services free of charge. And for some of them that need to be housed there, they provide that as well, long-term as well as short-term. But then what we wanted to do was also create a system where we're not totally dependable, just depending on Menninger. And so what we have is we have an intervention specialist at Bobby Shaw that we have trained them, we have trained the staff to be able to provide services on mental health, which varies in terms of level.
Okay.
From very, very basic to severe, and the most severe then I refer to the Menninger Clinic.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Gloria.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Gloria, isn't this we've used this same group before several years, and they've done a great job for us.
They have had an excellent record in terms of getting children to be healthy, mentally healthy again. Several suicide prevention, some of our two that I can think of right now off the top of my head. And so they were able to turn them around, and now they're very successful at school.
I have another question now. It just popped in my head. About how many students would this serve, or has it served in the past?
You know what? I have that data. I just don't have it here tonight, but I'll be glad to get it for you. Because we have to do an annual report as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Consideration and possible approval for the South Houston High School Band to travel and perform at Disney Performing Arts On-Stage Parade in Orlando, Florida, May 16 through 19, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morgan, second by Ms. Sullivan. Any comments or questions?
I guess I have a question. I assume that we're going to stay on top of what's happening with COVID because of, I'm thinking about transportation and all that kind of stuff, and living arrangements for the kids while they're there. So once we approve this, is there the opportunity to get any money that we have put down back?
So we recommend trip insurance
Okay,
for
good.
all of our trips because of what we've experienced in the past. And then we'll continue to monitor. We're hoping and praying things will be better in May, but we'll keep in touch. And Linda, of course, will be talking to Mr. No and all of his assistant directors. By the way, it's pretty impressive that they're here because they start early in the morning practicing. And I know Mr. No's way of working kids. You've been working hard all summer, so thank you for that and your team. But yeah, definitely we'll stay in touch and monitor the situation.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of Pasadena High School Orchestra to travel to Florida, March 4 through 9, 2022. Students will travel to perform for the Disney's Year Instrumentational Workshop.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Ms. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? Same question, right?
Yeah.
We've got our talented directors here. I see Mr. Bonus and his assistant, and they work very hard, and this is an awesome opportunity. I know choir wanted to go, but they're doing UIL, is that right?
They have a pre-UIL contest that they volunteered to host.
So it didn't work out. But we definitely want this opportunity for our orchestra kiddos. Yes, ma'am.
I noticed in these two different trips, there's quite a bit of difference in the dollar amount.
And sometimes that has to do with the
Mode of
dates
travel.
and the mode of travel
I
as
visited
well.
with Linda, and she tells me that one group's going to fly and another group's going to go by bus, and that makes a difference, and it makes a difference in the number of students that are going. So
absolutely.
Any other questions?
If I can speak to that, the reason we chose a bus, it is not as the most efficient way to get down there, but it is cheaper, and it does give more children, more students the opportunity to participate in the trip itself. So that is the reason we went to the bus.
You're going to make it overnight?
Yes.
I mean, are you going to stop before you get to?
Yeah, they changed.
You have to.
They changed bus drivers in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
So about midnight, after 8 hours of driving, they have to give up the driver's seat. Somebody else joins us, and we wake up in Disneyland that night.
There you go. So y'all sleep and they drive, right?
Do you stop at Buc-ee's? That's the question. Do you stop at Buc-ee's? That's what my kids would want to know.
Any other
thank you
questions?
very much for that input.
Appreciate it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Student achievements, none at this time. Too early in the year. Financial section, consideration possible approval of budget amendments for July.
I move that we approve the budget amendments for July.
Second.
Ms. Fusilier, second. Any discussion?
Just a lot of cleanup as we get to the end. We have to have money in each function for auditing purposes, so you're going to see a lot in July and August.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Consideration possible approve the budget amendments for August.
So moved. Second.
Morgan, Sullivan. All in favor, any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Consideration possible approval of GASB 54 fund balance resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Morgan and Ms. Fusilier.
No.
No, this was Sullivan.
Well, I got that one, so okay, never mind.
No, it doesn't matter.
Any discussion?
I'm going to have Carla, just since we have new board members, this is always interesting because it changes sometimes, and just to quickly go over GASB and what was required there for the district.
So GASB 54 it's a governmental accounting standard, and we are required to implement any type of governmental accounting standard that affects a school district. Right now, they're on Release 97, but this one is on GASB 54, which came out in 2009, and we had to implement this in 2011. And the reason behind this is because most school districts used to leave all your fund balance in just undesignated fund balance. So GASB 54 came out and said you must identify your fund balance in 5 different categories. So we move it to non-spendable, which is going to be your inventory prepaid, so that's a spot on your CAFR. The second one is restricted fund balance, so if we restrict something. And then you have committed, we always have committed because we like to reserve. And right now, we did $10 million just out of local to put there in case we have an emergency, if something happens to a chiller. Keep in mind, though, if we ever use that money, we would bring it back to you to approve. But it sets in there, we can never remove it or use it without y'all's approval. So that always sits there. And then we have assigned, if we would like to assign fund balance to a certain project that we know that's coming up. And then the rest goes into unassigned. So those are your 5 categories. The reason that we really look at this is because when legislative session is in, they always focus on our fund balance. And what they look at is your undesignated fund balance. So that's that remaining piece. So when we assign it, that pulls it out. And so they don't look at where we've restricted it or we've committed it. And part of GASB 54 says that you must approve these resolutions. So we have those on file for the audit. And so those are our 5 categories on the reason that we have them. Because when legislative is in session, they will look at our fund balance. And they do every year look at where our fund balance sits. Questions?
Pretty succinct.
Easy.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Consideration and possible adoption of the 2021 tax rate.
Move that we approve the tax rate for 2021. Second.
Ms. Morgan, motion. Ms. Sullivan, second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Consideration of partial approval for adoption for the 2021-22 budget.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
So board members, it has not changed since you saw it at the last budget workshop. Our tax rate, of course, it shows there has the decrease of the 0.0018 for M&O, which is a very small savings for our taxpayers, but I know they'll be appreciative depending on the value of their home. But some highlights again, just as a reminder, the 3% raise to all employees and the large retention stipend for all employees, classroom teachers getting $1,500 and other employees receiving $1,000 is very much appreciated by our board members. And all of our staff has been very appreciative when we've communicated that. $5 million, we've talked about teacher refresh. We focused a lot on student technology last year. $5 million in HVAC and ventilation improvements. $530,000 for instruments and uniforms, which I think some folks were here earlier that would thank you for that, but there's Linda and Mr. Holt back there doing a little dance. $1.2 million in new buses to help with transportation, $310,000 in white fleet vehicles, you know, our technology need cars, our buildings and grounds guys, our warehouse, $15,000 for washers and dryers. We're still washing and cleaning things, as you know. $3.5 million in software to close the gap for learning loss, so that's very much appreciated, and $1.2 million for our early college high school program, our tuition and books. So after including all of those high points, we do have a surplus budget, so we're appreciative of that. But there's always the time where things can change. We didn't know COVID was coming, and that changed. So this is our best estimate of what our expenses will be. We'll continue to monitor enrollment, explore new funding opportunities. I know Grants does an awesome job here in Pasadena ISD of making sure we take advantage of every opportunity, but we'll continue to look at the budget, make a budget amendments, and bring those to your approval as we go through. Hopefully it won't be as bumpy a ride this year as it was last year with budget. So Carla's here, I'm here. We've got cabinet members here if you have any questions related to budget.
If not any questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Operations sections. Consideration of possible approval of material testing service agreement for the new administration building replacement project in the amount of $114,946.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? I see tracks are over there now. It's good. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval allowance expenditure authorization, AEA number 02, for the Bondi Intermediate HVAC Upgrades Phase 2 project in the amount of $33,286.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of final change order number .001 for the Bondi Intermediate School HVAC Upgrade Phase 2 project in the credit amount of $76,618.
So moved. We'd like to see those credit amounts.
That's right.
Spend it and give it back.
Mrs. Sullivan seconded.
Yes, and we love the credits,
Yeah,
Vicki.
Good work. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval allowance expenditure authorization, AEA, number 007, for the new maintenance operation warehouse facility project in the amount of $524,921.93.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Comments or discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Board members, as you know, we had a lot of increases because of the time that it took to get this permit. We were in Houston for this project, and COVID was no friend to us in this as well. So I know Kevin has a breakdown of those increases, material cost increases, and where they impacted us most. But I just wanted to let you know a lot of this was due to the long delay that we
I
had.
don't think that's a surprise to anybody, or should it be?
Well, it's sickening. It costs so much
Yeah.
money.
And for the facilities department and the contractor and all to work out using some of the items that we already had, like the spray booth.
Spray thing.
Yeah, the spray booth credit, and also the access gate. It's really appreciated when we can utilize those things and save us money, because, as everyone has said, the cost has just been almost unbelievable, the cost increase.
Kevin, what did the delays from the permits cost us in time and money?
It's hard to put an exact number on that. Of course, we had the extended general conditions that went to the board for approval. That was direct cost related to the delays in the permit. These costs tonight are specifically related to the increase in raw materials that happened during that time. So that was an impact. I mean, the project bid a year ago, so we couldn't, a contractor can't hold his pricing for that long, so that was the cost increases.
Well, I think the first time you came and we got the extension was, what, $300,000 or so?
That's correct.
Because of delays from Houston?
Yes.
At least materials are starting to come down somewhat, especially lumber.
That's right.
And I know that you probably lose a lot of aluminum studs anyway, so it helped a lot. But anyway, thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Kevin, I had a question on the earthwork. I know we had talked about that earlier today. So is that going to actually benefit us because it's going to be built a little higher?
That was one of the credits that's on the board report that you're referring to, the earthwork credit. Yeah, we ended up taking the spoils instead of paying to have them hauled off. We just dispersed them and leveled them out on the property. So it really was not enough to make any kind of a huge impact on the elevations, but it did save us in haul off.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of change order number 003 for the new maintenance operation warehouse facility project in the amount of $703,000 to be funded by the 2017 bond contingency pool.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Comments or questions?
So we're talking about $1.5 million increase on this overall.
Huh?
Unbelievable.
Timing is everything, isn't it,
Yeah,
Kevin? Material-wise and permit-wise. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Construction update, none in this meeting. Miscellaneous section, consideration and possible approval to endorse Tony Hopkins, who is seeking candidacy for the TASB Board of Directors representing Region 4, Position C.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions?
He served us well. I think this is a good recommendation.
And he's from where, Friendswood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, he is a good guy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Public comments related, okay. We need to set the next meeting.
No, I think we do public
Okay.
comments first.
We have some public comments tonight, according to BED Local. Related topics not listed on the agenda. We ask that all speakers refrain from using profane or vulgar language. Complaints that about an individual student or employee shall seek resolution through the district's grievance policy, outline the applicable ISD board policy, DGBA, FNG, or GF. Along those lines, we ask those speakers respect the privacy rights of others, and in doing so, refrain from naming employees and our students during the public comment portion of the agenda. Titles may be used. Remember, this admonition goes for positive or negative influence. These instructions need to be viewpoint neutral. And where's my book? Here we go. First to speak tonight is Karina Guzman.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He's doing the time.
3 minutes, ma'am, Ms. Guzman.
I'll be your timekeeper. I'll let you know at 1 minute.
Good afternoon. My name is Karina Guzman, and I'm here to express my concern in regards to the COVID cases going up around our area. With only 2 weeks since school started, cases are going up in the district. It will be beneficial for a district to implement a mask mandate or give us the option for virtual classes. With higher case numbers in high schools, where most of the students can be vaccinated, makes me think what happens to the young ones, the ones that can be protected. If at least the staff will help by wearing a mask, parents will feel better leaving their children at school. I hate that politics get involved with the safety and health of our children or anyone around us. I just wish we can go back to how it was last year, where we had a choice. It will make a huge difference, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Jeanette Sexton?
I was just going to wait and do it at the end.
Oh, crap.
You have 3 minutes. I'll let you know at 1 minute.
All right. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm wearing 2 masks. Okay. My name is Jeanette Sexton. I've been a resident of Pasadena for 39 years. I don't have any children in school, but I am here as a concerned citizen. I believe that your health and safety protocols effective August 11th, 2021 are inadequate. In my opinion, PISD should require COVID vaccinations for all students over the age of 16, teachers and support staff, including administrative personnel, cafeteria workers, custodians, and bus drivers. The Food and Drug Administration fully approved the Pfizer vaccine for persons 16 and over, and there's really no reason to avoid getting vaccinated. The current situation is as follows. COVID-19 has become a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Texas hospitals are running out of intensive care unit beds. Patients are being transported to hospitals hundreds of miles away or out of state. As of August 21st, Texas had 13,386 cases throughout the state. Texas has requested 5 federal emergency management agency refrigerator trucks to hold the excess bodies. 628,000 Americans have died of COVID. 55,450 were Texans, and 6,980 were Harris County residents. Doctors and nurses are exhausted after 17 months and are frustrated that they are being inundated with cases of the unvaccinated, as the disease is completely preventable. Kids with COVID-19 are filling hospital beds in record numbers. More than 200 kids are now in Texas hospitals. That is higher than previous peaks during the pandemic. Additionally, PISD only, quote, recommends, unquote, face coverings. Cloth and surgical masks only protect others from your droplets. They do not protect you from others' droplets projected during speaking, singing, or shouting.
1 minute.
I strongly recommend the following: vaccine mandate, mask mandate, social distancing, sanitizing stations, reminders to wash hands for at least 20 seconds, public service announcement, announcements, COVID health posters, and encouraging people to get their news from reputable sources, their physicians or medical experts. The coronavirus pandemic was politicized 20 months ago, but it is a public health issue. We must ensure our children are in a safe and healthy learning environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ian Robbie?
You have 3 minutes. I'll let you know 1 minute.
Thank you. Good evening, board members and Superintendent Powell. This is a speech given to me by a very concerned teacher in Pasadena ISD to read. They want to remain anonymous. Elected leaders of Pasadena ISD, we are at the precipice of disaster in our community. We are acting as though the pandemic is coming to an end, while cases are higher than they have ever been in our area. Additionally, our youngest students are not yet eligible for vaccination. Thousands of students across the country are currently in hospitals. Our governor has stopped pursuing litigation against halting mask mandates. However, our county currently has a mask mandate in effect for schools. There is currently no barrier to doing what is right and best for our students by enforcing the county's mask mandate for schools. The number of cases in our area is accelerating. Many of our students' parents have opted to homeschool after hearing about the lax coronavirus prevention efforts. We do not have the ability to social distance in most settings, and we lack the ability to utilize the PPE we have due to the increased number of students. We are begging you to do what is best and protect us. You took an oath to do this. Please fulfill it. I would like to add that it's better to be safe than sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rowe.
So board members, I'll just say that we continue to make safety our priority, and I appreciate an HISD teacher and Deer Park resident coming to speak about this tonight, but I can assure you that no board member up here doesn't care about children deeply. Throughout the pandemic, the district has continuously and diligently worked to be the first COVID-19 vaccination site in this area. And we gave thousands and thousands of people vaccines through the Harris County Health Department, not just our staff members who were given the priority who wanted that, but our community members as well. So I'm very proud of that. We have been diligent to provide that for our students 12 and over. That's a parental choice. So we, of course, have provided it conveniently for our families. We're complying with our federal and state. I know we talk about local orders, but there is legal advice given to this district that we will be sued, just like every other school district who is not following the governor's executive order. We continue to have sanitizing stations. I'm not sure where the misinformation is. We have posters everywhere. We have rapid testing at all of our schools. We have a district site that we spent $325,000 on last year, and we'll continue to spend money on as employees test currently at the district site. We are, of course, continuing to communicate with parents. Tonight we talked about virtual learning, which is not funded yet by the legislature, but we do have an opportunity after tonight for parents with those children that they want to put in that setting to have that opportunity. So we'll be communicating with our families and our parents about that. Again, we are watching all of the legislation, but trying to keep our taxpayers protected by not getting involved in that and focusing on the children and what's best for them here in our district, by not, again, putting our time into the politics like was brought up tonight. We will continue to do our part to keep the community safe. We're committed to that. As always in this district, we monitor, we adjust, we have a dashboard even though we're not required to. We've tested any cluster. We've had one cluster come up. We went over immediately. We have the staff and the resources to test that entire group of students. The other district that we were working with in a sports situation was amazed and appreciative of what we did. So safety precautions are not going by the wayside here in Pasadena ISD. So we will continue to do everything we can to encourage. From our survey, over 86% of our staff says they are vaccinated. 90 said that they still wanted to be. So immediately Within hours, Mr. McCarley had set up opportunities for them to be vaccinated and communicated that with them, again, immediately. But we thank you for your support of our wonderful district. I see some of the staff members out here who have communicated with me and thanked me for our efforts, our great school board, and our district staff and students, and our parents. We appreciate their input and them working with us. So I know at Red Bluff Elementary, for example, we're in communication with the staff and, of course, the administration, and they're doing everything in their power to, again, do things within the law and make sure that we're keeping kids safe. So I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you very much. And the board completely supports our superintendent and the actions we're taking to stay within the law.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Next board meeting suggested is Tuesday, September the 28th.
I move that we approve Tuesday, September 28th is the next regular board meeting. Second.
Second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. I think that is it. At this meeting, we are adjourned. Thank you for being here tonight.